Welcome back to the channel, my YouTube family, my Ghost Recon family. How are you doing today? Hope you're all safe and well. And today we continue our series of videos for beginners and new people to the game. Probably one of the most confusing menus in the game is the objectives board. I'm going to go through step by step and explain it as best I can for all you newbies. Hope it's going to be helpful. Let's do it! Okay, so welcome back. So we're going to get into the menus in a second and we're going to have a look at this. So the objective board is obviously located kind of 4 from the left, almost in the center. And I think this is probably one of the most confusing menus I've ever seen until you get your head around how all of this works. So when you go into a certain section, you will see an indicator of what that is will pop up. So you can see here, for instance, the objectives. All of a sudden, that word objectives will show up like that. Now, if you go down here and you kind of hover in the middle, you'll see that it kind of directs you in the center of the screen. It kind of directs you to all the various parts of the objectives board and what they are and where they are. So we're going to go through these one at a time, and I will explain them to you as well as I can. So we have obviously Ghost War missions that you can go through if you want to do the Ghost War. That's basically peer versus peer PvP. If you want to go through those and get into those, you can. There's a number of missions that you can do. And that's pretty straightforward. It's not an area that I've explored it a little bit, Ghost War, but not much. So you're basically playing against other players. And I think from the ones I've done, I think it's a 4v4 kind of thing. So that's the special operations. Let's get into the missions first. The mission's probably the most important thing that you're ever going to do. So you see you've got episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. So let's explain those first, and then we'll go through episode 1. So basically these are all main missions unless you're over here, and these are all the side missions. So the archipelago, Aroa Archipelago is all the side missions. Everything else is related to a main mission. So in episode 1, Operation Greenstone, as you go through these missions, all these little tiles will start to show up on your board. Okay, pretty straightforward so far. Do not, if you're starting the game for the first time, and you can click into these like this, Operation Checkmate, and then we have Red Faction. And it might give you access to these, but if it does, more than likely it will warn you that this is way overpowered. You should do these in order. So do not do episode 2 until you've done episode 1 and completed it. Absolutely. That's my advice. It is possible to go in here and do these missions, but it's not advisable because you need to be a certain level. Okay. So with the missions, what you'll find is you've got a number of people that you've got to find. So there's a number of special people that you've got to find, like Flycatcher and Silverback, and these will give you special guns. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't done any of these missions. So also along the way, you're going to have to find people. People like Trey Stone, Jehez Hill, etc. Ayana Puri. You're going to have to find all these people and either rescue them or bring them back to Aroa. So we'll click into this one, and you'll see that there's a number of collectibles that are associated with this finding Ayana Puri. I'll see if I can find one. Another one, Paula Madeira, sorry. There are a number of objectives and collectibles to be found when you're going through finding her. But then it will show you which missions are associated with Paula Madeira. And you can see I've obviously completed all these. I've got all these intels for this mission. So you can obviously from here, you can pin a mission to your board, etc., etc. So as you go through each mission, each main mission, these people will start to open up, and you need to collect intel, and you have to do a series of missions depending on who the person is. Some you only have to do one, some you have to do several. That's pretty straightforward. Along the way, you're going to pick up these side missions, and you can pick up these side missions a whole lot of ways. Just by talking to people, you'll pick up side missions. As part of the main mission, you'll pick up side missions, etc. You'll pick them up from various people like Mads Schutz and all kinds of stuff. So it's pretty straightforward. That's where all your main missions are. That's where all your side missions are. If you go to episode 2, it's pretty much main missions in episode 2. Episode 3, this is DLC, and basically you have to go out and hunt down each of these people. So if you haven't seen my Red Patriot episodes, I've done the whole DLC with each of these missions, if you want to watch that at some point. Pretty straightforward kind of stuff, but it's not always that obvious when you start the game. Okay, so objectives. What are the objectives about? Well, this is where if you're going through the world and you start to pick up things like weapons blueprints, weapons attachments from people with information symbols above their hand. This is where they'll come to. This is where they're going to be. And you can see here, this is just basically going to give you a summary of what you found and what you haven't found. And if you haven't found them, where to find them. So you can use this and the map. You can see with these, you can just buy them at the shop. This one, you actually have to go to No Man's Land on Golem Island to find that one. Similarly with the weapons, so that was the attachments. With the weapons, these are the blueprints. And again, there's a whole lot of blueprints that I haven't actually got. And this will tell you exactly where they are if you want to go and find them. With the collectibles, you're going to find these lying around all over the place as you go through missions and whatnot. So you can see I've got a lot of these. Some of them are attached to missions, some of them you're just going to pick up as you go along. So keep your eye out for intel as you go through, and collectibles as you go through each of the bases and whatnot. And yeah, you'll find all this kind of stuff. If you haven't found it, if you're like me and there's stuff outstanding, it will tell you, or it will give you a clue where to find them. If you're interested in the lore of the game, then again there are collectibles for that. So the first one are, I think, mission based. Second one is world lore, and then there are also stashes all over the place, info stashes all over the place. And again, if you haven't got them and if you're a completionist and you want to go and find them, it will tell you where they are, and you can pin that to your screen and off you go. It gives you something to search for. Investigations, again, are related to missions. And again, there's clues to collect that will help you solve some of the missions. You don't necessarily have to always get these. But when you do, what you do is there'll be a big button that says resolve. You resolve them, and then you will get XP for finding everything. So for instance, here I've got one clue to find here, and it's over in Liberty somewhere in the western part of Liberty Province, west of Summer Lake. So you can go down and search these down if you like, and it will give you extra XP. So obviously you can pin that to your screen and go search these if you want to do the completionist there. Faction missions are shown up in green, and there's 4 factions that you'll meet along the way. You've got the outcasts, obviously the homesteaders, and there'll be a number of faction missions that you can go and do. And you can see when you click into these, here are all the mission rewards that you're going to get as you go through. So these are worth doing. They're a lot of fun, and generally they'll start from the top to the bottom and they'll get harder. So I'd suggest that you do these in order. I've got a ton of them still to do. If you want to keep playing the game and you finished all the missions, it gives you something to do. And you can see it resets, these missions reset over a certain period of time. So they are time specific. You can see with Mad Schultz, I've done all the homesteader missions, and you can see with the different missions it will tell you that sometimes you'll get intel with those missions. So that's pretty much all I have to say about how this board works, what all the different areas are about. Like I said, it can be super confusing when you first get the game and you're not sure what you should be doing, where you should be going, what missions to do first. So I'd say stick to the main missions. Stick to the main missions to start with. You do the side missions, and that's always with these kind of open world games. Always do as many side missions as you can, and then get back onto the main mission, because you'll get XP, you'll rank up, you'll be able to buy skills, and it'll help you in the main missions. Hopefully this has been useful, guys. Thanks for the support on all the Ghost Recon videos lately. It really has been going well. We're getting a lot of people that are new to the game and are playing. And yeah, I'm always looking for ideas to help you. So if there's anything that you need help on, let me know in the comments down below, and I'm happy to make a video on it. Take care, guys. We'll catch you next time on Gaming for XP. See ya.